Let me explain why I sometimes use sticky notes when designing an audit plan. So, early in my career, when I had relatively little experience as an auditor, I was often invited by other consultants to perform the final internal audit before the certification audit. So, at that time, certification bodies did not yet have the stage 1 and stage 2 structure we know today. So there was simply a single certification audit. And that means that the last internal audit before certification carried quite a lot of responsibility. Now, and to be honest, I am naturally a somewhat anxious person. So my main fear was always the same. So what if I forget something? Okay. So when you want to do a good job, so I may forget a department, a process, an area, an important clause of the standard. Now, when you start preparing an audit in an organization you don't know well, okay, you suddenly face a surprisingly large amount of unfamiliar information. So I call it like being bombarded, okay? So you see process names you've never heard before. You see job titles that sound familiar, but actually mean something slightly different from what you can expect. You see departments whose responsibilities overlap. You know that you will audit people you don't know. And at the same time, you must design an audit itinerary that makes sense. So you need to decide where to go, who to talk to, what to verify, and in what order. And you need to do this without missing anything important. So I developed a very simple visual method using sticky notes. So if I'm doing a global audit, I prepare a set of sticky notes with the names of the departments or processes or areas that need to be audited. So something like this, okay? Right. Department A, B, C, D, da, 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 da. Okay. And I mark the departments or processes where risk is more important. So for example, here and here, okay? That way it will be clear that those departments or processes will require more time to audit, okay? Then I prepare another set of sticky notes with the clauses of the standard and procedures, okay? Okay, yes. All of them. So then I start developing the itinerary, okay, considering risk and priorities, considering the number of auditors and the backward flow approach, my preferred one, where I collect information in one department and use it later in other departments, what I call the avalanche effect. So I can start like something like this. Okay, I can start my audit here. I will consider this requirement there. Then I go here, and then I consider this requirement and this requirement. So I'm going from here, okay, to there. Then I go to this one, okay, and I will say like this. And nice. No, that's not the best one. No, let's first check this one and go here. Okay, here I can check this one. Okay, and then I can start. So I can go here and start here. Let me go here and let me have another requirement here. Requirement alpha and yeah, this one. Okay, like a procedure, a particular procedure. Okay, and then okay, from here or here. So I can move the sticky notes around the board, okay, and start, okay, making sense of an itinerary. And if one sticky note is missing here, okay, remains unused, it means that, okay, I'm missing something, okay? Something might be missing, okay? So today, after many years of auditing, I rarely need to use this, okay? This method for small audits. So because the structure of the audit plan is normally already in my head, but when the scope becomes large or when several auditors are involved, I sometimes return to this simple visual approach. And I still believe it's extremely useful for auditors who are earlier in their careers. So in this module, we'll use this method in a practical example. Alpha Pumps Ltd. Okay, so Alpha Pumps is a medium-sized manufacturing company that designs and produces centrifugal pumps for industrial and municipal applications. Okay, so the company has about 120 employees, several production areas, a testing laboratory, suppliers, logistics, and customer support. So you can download the documentation of the case study about Alpha Pumps Limited below. What I like in these examples is to include a lot of information. Some will be useful for the audit, some will be noise, because that is what's happening in real life, okay? And we need to discern, okay? So in this example, we'll not perform a global audit. I want to show you how this method is used in a more demanding situation, okay? So our audit objective will be the following. Evaluate whether the production and delivery processes are implemented and implemented as planned, and are capable of consistently deliver conforming products. So evaluate whether the production and delivery processes are implemented as planned and are capable of consistently deliver conforming products. So we will imagine that two auditors must plan a 2-day audit of this system. And step by step, using sticky notes, we will transform the audit objective, into a set of questions, into places to go, into requirements, into risk, considering risk, considering different auditors, audit team, and a sequence, a sequence and time necessary for each place, and and this leads to having an audit plan. So in the next video, we start with the first step. So how to derive high-level audit questions from the audit objective. This one here.